Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Superman flying scene that's being laughed about around the world. I'm sorry, but this just looks silly, man, and I'm trying not to be a hater. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really want this movie to succeed. I really want this movie to do well. I want another Superman movie. I want another superhero movie. But there's just everything James Gunn keeps putting out about this Superman is not making me happy. It's giving me doubt from like the costume, from the first teaser trailer and stuff, from him getting his butt kicked and having a dog drag him home. That made Superman look weak. It made him look weaker than when he gets like, standing next to kryptonite and everything. Like, I'm sorry, man. You had to have a dog like, home, drag me home. And I'm just like, dude, you're Superman. And like I said before, that promotional picture from where like, he's leisurely putting on like his suit as stuff is going on in the background. And it has that 1940 vibe with him wearing like a suit for the Daily Planet and him wearing trunks. I still don't want the trunks and everything. And God, I hate that suit. But the thing is, in the teaser trailer, I was hoping he would say more than just home, take me home. And I'm just kind of like, say something. I want to hear you talk Superman, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, say something. Like, because I've only seen one movie with this man, and I think he had to fake an accent because it was like back in the 1920s or 30s and stuff. So I really want to know how this Superman sound. I've never seen the I can't talk, lowest actress act. I want to see her say something. Nicholas Holt, he better be a good Lex Luthor. Already, he just looks weird with that bald head. He just is pointy and everything. And I think it was, I don't know if it was a ball cap or what he's wearing, but it just don't look cool. And I hate when he's cocking his gun. He makes that weird eye movement. And it's just kind of like, and also, why does he have like an old pistol revolver? Like, why? Like, upgrade, man. But like, you know who has a great bald head? Like Michael Rosenbaum, Stone Cold Steve Austin, James Avery from like Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Patrick Stewart from Star Trek Next Generation. Nicholas Holt just doesn't have a great bald head. It just looks weird. And I'm pretty sure that's a bald cap. Like, it just looks weird. But like this scene of him flying forward and spinning around and stuff, it just looks like it's not even that of a theatrical movie. It don't. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. It's just goofy looking. His head looks way too big on his body. Because of the way the suit looks, his chest is all puffy and round at the bottom. And that's one thing you have to get right. Like, I played around in Photoshop and I've done like the forward, like Superman flying pose. You gotta get that chest angled right, unless it's gonna look odd. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the only thing. It's the way the cape is whipping around in the back. That looks really cheap. Like they rushed it. But then there's all the stuff in the background. It looks like it looks like he's on a volume, but really, really cheap and rushed. Like, remember Thor, Love and Thunder, how they was on the volume, how everything looked cheap in the background. That's kind of how this looks and stuff. And so they're not getting their proportions right on the body. I don't know what the heck is going on with his eyes. Maybe the actor has an eye condition. I don't know. But this is one of those things you have to reshoot and reshoot until you get it right. And this is when you have to like edit it really good in post. You know what I'm saying? And rumor has it, James Gunn said he doesn't like doing reshoots because if your movie's so good, you don't have to do whatever, dude. Do reshoots, all right? You're not a movie god, all right? Like, Seriously, man, like this just looks weird. And not only does it look weird, it looks cheap, it looks rushed, and it looks like it's early like 2000s. And that's kind of odd and weird because I've seen some front word like, flying on television that looks a heck of a lot better than this. And this is really reminding me of like the Black Adam when he flew forward and like, what's his name? Adam Warlock when he flew in James Gunn movie of all things. That was really weird and awkward. And it's almost like Hollywood is trying to see who can outdo the goofiest like flying forward thing. Like, why? Is this like a joke? Is this like a running gag in Hollywood now? Make it look good, you know what I'm saying? Like some comparisons, you know what this kind of reminds me of a little bit, slightly, but this is slightly better. You remember Smallville when Clark flew for the first time, but it wasn't really him? It was Jor-El that took over his mind and he shot up like a bullet in the sky and flew towards Lex like jet and everything. It kind of reminds me of this. However, this is still done just slightly better. See, here's the thing about this. This is on a TV budget. This is literally the early 2000s, not the 2010s, but the early 2000s. It was on the WB, which is now the CW. And, for the most part, this scene holds up. It ain't perfect, but it's still really good. The only thing that does not make it perfect is his shirt. It's an open button shirt. And so the actor said he had these giant fans blowing on him. And he took it upon himself not to blink as the fans are on him. Now, as you can see, his shirt just looks bizarre and weird. It looks all puffy because the air is blowing within his shirt, puffing it out. And I hate that. I wish he would have like wore a tighter shirt or like button his shirt up because the wind blowing through his shirt just looks bizarre. But they probably did that so it can mimic like a cape because he doesn't wear a cape. And other than that, it looks fine. It's just the awkwardness of the shirt. But other than that, when you watch it, like the whole clip of him flying, it looks really good. But this is kind of what James Gunn is reminding me of, this outdated version, but yet this outdated version still looks good. Another comparison that looks way better than this. And speaking of Smallville, when Clark's cousin Kara came in, who's supposed to be Supergirl, even her flying looked amazing back in the early 2000s. It looks better than what James Gunn did. It's a TV show and they had no budget. That's one reason why they didn't fly around or do a bunch of fights and all kind of other crap. They did not have the budget back in the day, and this was a television show, and James Gunn has millions of dollars backing this movie. Seriously, this looks like a joke. Like, seriously, like, it's funny. Like, the whole Adam Warlock, the whole Black Adam thing, they're really competing to see who has the goofier, like, flying pose forward in the camera with their head being big and everything and elongated. And I just don't understand that. Supergirl, when she flies forward in, like, the Supergirl CW show. It was first on CBS and then it was on the CW. Now, when it comes to Supergirl, I checked out after the second season and I just didn't bother with the third. However, this is from the first season. And one thing I've always noticed about the Supergirl show, even though it was not my favorite, even though it was not the best, they had the best CGI out of all, like, at that time, of the, whatchamacallem, of like all the Arrowverse shows. And actually all the Arrowverse shows, when you stop and think about it, her flying always looked real. And like when she's flying forward, she looks realistic. She looks good. And this was the 2010s slightly going right before the 2020s, to tell you the truth. So this was like mid late, like, 2010s. And look how good that looks on a TV budget. Now this is Superman from Superman and Lois. And when he flies forward, they also had some really good flying on the show. And once again, this was like the 2020s, and it's on a TV budget. And it looks more spectacular than what the heck James Gunn just gave us. And I get so sick and tired of people talking all like, oh, this looks like a CW show. No, a CW show can actually do better than what James Gunn has been giving us in terms of that of a costume and flying and everything. And for a movie budget, it needs to look better than that. And of course, you can't forget Henry Cavill. Like when he flew forward, it looked amazing and stuff. Just the still picture of it is breathtaking with the costume and him going forward. And seriously, like, and this was just like what, 10 years ago or something like that? Like, wait, was it 10 years ago? I don't know. Maybe. God. Like, seriously, how do you go downward as the years are progressing? I don't understand that. Seriously, how do you go backwards in time when technology is supposed to be better? But I've been saying that about CGI for the longest time. A lot of stuff that was from 10, 15, 20 years ago looks better than modern day CGI. Where is the budget going to? I'm wondering. Like, seriously. I don't hope this is going to be a good movie. I don't want this to be no crappy movie. I want this to be a good movie and stuff. I want something to have fun with, Like, what the worst thing is? Let's pretend and say this movie flops, right? Let's just say it's bad. People are making fun of it. It doesn't make that much money. Not a high, like, score. This could make or break James Gunn DC career, but the thing is, he's already making the Supergirl movie. Well, a different director is. And they already did like the set photo. They're gonna start filming soon, and they're building sets and everything. So whether the Superman movie flops or not, we're gonna be stuck with Supergirl, and DC might try to give James Gunn another chance. Which, by the way, why the heck does Supergirl have pink hair? Nothing against pink hair, because I like pink hair on women, but why does she have pink hair? And she's never had that in the comics. It just makes you kind of wonder, what the heck is this man doing? He already cast an actress who looks like a kid or a teenager when this Supergirl is supposed to be a grown middle-aged adult and everything, because she's in her later years and she's going through some type of like midlife crisis or something. And like, he has somebody who looks really young. Not to mention the people who are cast to play her parents. The actress, Emily, who plays her mother, that woman can actually fight. She was on a show called Into the Badlands, and she's bad to the bone. She could literally play Wonder Woman in the DCU if she wanted to. That's how bad she is when it comes to fighting. Like, she's that good. And he cast her to play a dead mother. But, like I said before, this is just probably all just a joke to James Gunn, because he's a giant man child and everything. Like, the man's gonna have to grow up at some point in time. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.